Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're tackling a question that's probably crossed your mind, maybe even kept you up at night a bit. Will AI, like ChatGPT or these other assistants, will they really take over human jobs? Say, in the next 5 years. It's a headline you see everywhere, right? Lots of hype, sometimes, yeah, a little bit of dread too. But we want to go beyond just the noise today. We're going to dig into the, let's say, the nuanced reality. We'll start with that core question, like, can AI replace itself? And then we'll zoom into the context of India, which is honestly really fascinating. The source material we're using for this deep dive, it gives such a clear, kind of thoughtful perspective. It's not rushed. And that's exactly what we like to explore here.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about the material we've looked at is how it breaks down this really complex question so carefully. It moves us beyond just a simple, yes or no. It gets into the layers, the human involvement, the specific regional stuff that's actually shaping things. So our mission today really is to give you a shortcut, a way to truly get this intricate landscape without wading through everything. We want you to walk away with a deeper, maybe more grounded grasp of how AI is actually changing our world, task by task, job by job, so you feel not just informed, but genuinely insightful.
Exactly. That's the goal. So let's jump right in. That core question, the one our sources hit ahead on. Will AI replace jobs like mine? Meaning, AI assistant type roles, generative AI work within 5 years. And the short answer, the kind of immediate takeaway from our sources is pretty clear. Not entirely, right? Well, AI might evolve, sure, take over more tasks, but human AI collaboration, that's going to be absolutely key. It seems AI won't fully replace human support or even its own kind of service, not in the near future anyway. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. Why isn't it a simple yes? I mean, AI seems so powerful, getting better practically every day.
Right. And it's the why that's compelling here, not just the what. If you zoom out a bit, you see that these AI systems, like ChatGPT, they are fundamentally, well, they're tools. Think about it. AI learns from human data, right? It's fine-tuned by human engineers. And the ethical lines, the boundaries, humans draw those through policy, through ongoing work. So there's this inherent dependency. It makes the relationship more symbiotic, not really predatory when it comes to human work. Now, yes, improvements happen constantly. They might reduce the need for some human-in-the-loop tasks, like maybe content moderation for obvious stuff. AI can flag that. But human judgment, still crucial for the tricky bits, sarcasm, cultural context, things an algorithm just misses,
Okay.
or basic QA checks. AI can automate a lot, sure.
Hmm.
But for really critical, context-heavy quality checks, you still need a human eye. But these improvements, they won't get rid of the need for these really crucial human elements. We're talking about ongoing ethical oversight, making sure AI isn't biased, isn't misused, that it actually serves human interests. Algorithms can't decide that alone. And then there's context-sensitive decision-making, stuff that goes way beyond just programmed rules. And, the broader human values, the nuance that has to guide AI in the real world in complex situations. So AI might replace narrow tasks, repetitive things, but it won't replace the whole system, not the human infrastructure that builds it, guides it, manages it. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it's really about transformation, evolution, not just vanishing jobs. The real takeaway might be that AI's evolution mirrors human skills evolution. They sort of converge, they don't just diverge.
That's a really vital distinction. The tool, not the carpenter idea, really clicks there. Makes perfect sense. AI is a super sophisticated hammer, maybe, but not the person deciding where and how to swing it. But then applying that idea to a country like India, huge IT sector, unique demographics. That raises totally new questions, doesn't it? It kind of leads us naturally to the Indian context. Our sources highlight this as a really unique place for AI adoption and offer some incredibly valuable insights, like how these global AI trends meet local reality. So what are those distinct characteristics in India that really shape how AI is landing there, how it's impacting jobs?
Yeah, and that's an important question. How do global trends play out in such different local conditions? India, as our sources really detail, is a compelling case. Why? A few key things. First, you've got this incredibly young, tech-savvy population. It's not just a number, it's like a massive demographic advantage. A workforce that's comfortable with digital tools, quick to adapt, fuels a lot of entrepreneurship too. Second, there's a really fast-growing digital economy. It's expanding rapidly, technology weaving into business, daily life. And third, maybe the most obvious one, is India's huge IT and BPO sector business process outsourcing. This sector handles tons of operations for global companies, customer support, data processing, software dev. Millions of people employed there.
Oh, millions.
Millions. So what this means, like right now is that AI is already augmenting work in India. It's not hypothetical, especially in customer service, software development, even content creation. It's happening. But, and this is a big but full replacement of human roles, probably not happening soon in India for some very practical reasons. A lot of processes still rely heavily on, frankly, low-cost human labor, especially for tasks that are really variable, need on-the-spot problem solving, or where the sheer number of unique scenarios makes AI training just too expensive right now.
Okay, the economics play a part.
Definitely. And then there's India's incredible language diversity, subtle cultural nuances too. These things need really context-aware AI. Think about understanding, say, English, that mix of Hindi and English, or the social cues in a customer service chat in a specific regional dialect. AI is still developing those capabilities, honestly. And finally, there's a real trust gap sometimes. Among many Indian users, when it comes to fully automated systems, they often prefer a human touch, especially for important services or personal data.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and the sources give a good example. Indian startups often use AI chatbots first, for initial contact, but they very often have to escalate to human agents. Why? Because of customer expectations or just the complexity of understanding regional languages and nuances. It really shows how that human interaction piece is still so central in many cases.
That Moody's, that breakdown of India's context, the demographics, BPO, the language issues, really brings it home, doesn't it? It's not just if AI takes jobs, but really where and how it gets integrated. And this next bit from our sources, looking at which specific jobs might be affected in India, that's super insightful. It gives a much clearer picture than just, broad statements. So let's dive into those specifics. Different job types, their risk levels in India. Can you walk us through that?
Absolutely. And what's fascinating, again, is how the risk level often links directly to that need for nuance, human judgment, deep context. It backs up that earlier point. AI replaces tasks, maybe, not whole roles. Okay, so let's go through the job types our sources looked at in India. First, BPO and customer service. The risk level here, they say moderate. AI will definitely assist. It can handle routine questions, automate data entry, maybe provide initial diagnostics, but fully replace human agents? Probably not. Especially for complex problems or emotionally charged interactions, situations needing empathy, cultural understanding.
All right, the human touch points.
Exactly. Think about a customer who's really frustrated with a tricky technical issue or needs emotional support. That's where a human still makes a difference. Next, content creation. Also, moderate risk. AI tools, like ChatGPT, they're already widely used for drafting, brainstorming, outlines, even basic news reports. It automates parts of the process. But human creativity, critical fact-checking, getting the unique voice and tone right, editorial oversight, still essential for quality, originality, relevance. It's augmentation, really.
Okay, so helping, not replacing.
Pretty much. Then, software testing and coding. The risk here is maybe surprisingly low-moderate. AI helps automate repetitive tasks, sure. It can generate code snippets, spot bugs, suggest fixes, but skilled human developers, still very much needed. For the big picture stuff, architectural design, understanding complex business logic, real innovation, integrating different systems, debugging those really tricky edge cases AI struggles with, AI makes them faster, more efficient, not obsolete. Now, for fields like legal and medical advice, heavily regulated, need high accuracy, the risk is low, decidedly low. There are just big barriers. High accuracy needs, strict regulations, they prevent full automation. Human experts provide critical judgment, ethical reasoning, patient empathy. They're ultimately accountable for decisions that could be life or death. AI might help with research, maybe spotting patterns in medical scans, but the final diagnosis, the legal strategy, that stays firmly human.
Makes sense. The stakes are too high.
Exactly. And finally, kind of ironically, AI development and ethics itself, the risk here is also low. In fact, there's increasing demand for skilled AI engineers, researchers, data scientists, policy folks, people who can build, manage, fine-tune, and ethically govern these powerful systems. These are the human roles that become even more critical as AI advances. They're the ones shaping AI's future.
That is such a clarifying way to look at it. It really paints a picture of like a targeted transformation, not some kind of blanket threat wiping everything out. It makes you realize, okay, AI is evolving fast, yes, but human ingenuity, our unique skills, they're evolving right along with it. So looking ahead then, 2025 to 2030, our sources seem to offer a picture that's, well, less doom and gloom, much more about evolution, adaptation, which feels like a powerful perspective, especially if you're feeling kind of overwhelmed by all the AI news. Can you detail that future outlook? Optimistic, but realistic too.
Yeah, and it raises that important question, doesn't it? How can countries actually shape their tech future proactively instead of just reacting? The future outlook for 2025, 2030, as laid out in our sources, it really is about augmentation, not apocalypse. The key idea is AI becoming more of a co-pilot, enhancing human capabilities, not wiping them out.
Copilot, I like that.
Yeah. Imagine a lawyer using AI to instantly sift through thousands of cases, right? So they can focus on the actual argument, the client strategy. Or a doctor using AI to analyze scans faster, freeing up time for patient interaction, for the complex diagnosis part. It's about using AI for speed, for efficiency, while humans keep the critical thinking, the creativity, the empathy. And specifically in India, the digital economy looks set to benefit much more from this kind of AI augmentation than it will suffer from big job losses. This positive view is also helped by proactive government initiatives.
Oh, okay. Like what?
Well, programs like Digital India, that's focused on digital literacy infrastructure, creates fertile ground for AI adoption. Then there's Skill India, which is crucial. It's about preparing the workforce, offering training, upskilling so people are ready for new roles or can work effectively with AI tools. And there's also a growing focus on AI education at all levels, equipping people with the skills to work alongside AI and not be replaced by it. It's all about building that symbiotic relationship. Human intelligence guides the AI tools empower the humans.
So what does all this actually mean? Now, for you listening, for the wider workforce, I think our deep dive today has shown pretty clearly that AI, even really smart tools like ChatGPT, they aren't going to replace humans entirely, not across the board. Instead, it looks like AI will replace or transform specific tasks within jobs. It's much more evolution, a gradual shift, not some sudden revolution for whole job categories. And for India specifically, in the next 5 years or so, the focus seems clearly on retraining, upskilling, and yes, strategically embracing that human AI collaboration. That seems like the way forward. Hopefully, you now have a clearer, more nuanced understanding of AI's real impact on jobs, especially in a complex place like India, moving beyond the hype, to the grounded reality.
Yeah, and if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, it seems clear the future of work isn't just about AI's capabilities, which are advancing incredibly fast. It's equally about our human adaptability, our capacity to innovate and adjust, which I think raises an important question for you, the listener, to maybe think about after this. How do you see yourself actively participating in that human AI collaboration? Maybe even leading it in your own field or just in your interests? What new skills might you explore? Or what strengths do you already have that you could leverage to really thrive as things evolve?
That's a great question to leave things on. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep deep diving into the insights that matter most.